Hello, this is Ms. Schrader. Today we are going to be talking about the Temple of Inscriptions, which you can see here. It's in the city of Palenque, which was a Mayan city in the Yucatan Peninsula, which is in the state of Chiapas, Mexico. My students, you want a piece of paper with which to take notes. When you're done, you're going to be giving me between 7 and 10 sentences on the Temple of Inscriptions. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so you can see that Palenque is at the bottom of this map where the little red dot is. It's on the Yucatan Peninsula. It is an ancient Mayan city founded by the Mayans around 400 CE, that's current era, and abandoned by them around 800 CE. Now, because it was abandoned, in time the jungle starts to cover up the various different buildings and they start to look just like mounds. And sometime in the 18th century, some of the Spanish explorers who had come into the area began to dig into these mounds and find that there were, in fact, buildings underneath. The Temple of the Inscriptions was called that because it's got inscriptions all over it. So the Temple of Inscriptions is the largest Mesoamerican step pyramid in the world. It was a tomb pyramid, which is very different. Most of these temples are referred to as temples because they are places of worship. The Temple of Inscriptions, a lot of people always thought that there was something strange about it. And eventually, a man by the name of Alberto Ruz Layer started doing research into it. So in 1948, Alberto Ruiz Lillier, sure I'm saying his name terribly, he pulled up one of the floorboards in the top of the Temple of Inscriptions, and he found this staircase. And it took him 4 years to dig out the rubble, all the trash and stone pieces and things that were in the hallway of the staircase. And I'm told that if you look at it, you can kind of tell that the staircase is very steep. So it's very dangerous. And the staircase goes down into the center of the temple. At the bottom of the staircase is a sarcophagus, the one you're seeing right now. This is the sarcophagus of a Mayan emperor, Kenech Yenab Pakal, and he's simply referred to as Pakal. And you can see that the sarcophagus, this is the coffin for his body, is covered with inscriptions the way the entire temple is covered with inscriptions. Only one photographer has gotten a full-on picture of this, the lid of the sarcophagus. It was a photographer named Merle Green Robertson, a woman, and they literally suspended her using ropes over the lid of the sarcophagus in order to take the picture. And what they said was after she took that picture, they sealed the sarcophagus permanently, and it's never been opened since 1952. Now, this is supposed to be an image of Pikal. This image is from within the tomb, so it could have been done during his lifetime. The archaeologists have been researching the lid of the sarcophagus. They noticed that Pikal is on top of the lid. He is on top of the earth monster, and below him are the open jaws of a jaguar, symbolizing one of the gods. Above him is the celestial bird perched above the cosmic tree, represented by a cross. And so it is showing him between the world of the living and the world of the dead. The body, the remains of the Emperor Palenque, wearing a jade mask, quite a bit of jade jewelry. His eyes are done with seashells and obsidian. And And this is the first time they've ever found anything that looks similar to this. Now, remember I told you that they've closed up the original sarcophagus completely? They created an exact replica, including the jade mask and all the other things, in the National Museum of Anthropology and History in Mexico City. So here you can see the mask and all the other jewelry that was on Pikal's body. And here we have a closer view of the mask. Remember, this is all jade pieces put together. Um, he is referred to as Pikal the Great. He came into power in July of 615, and he ruled until 683 when he was 80 years old. And apparently, during the earliest part of his reign, his mother was the regent for him, eventually allowing him to take over. And basically, during his reign, he spent a lot of time conquering smaller kingdoms around him, as well as building these huge sorts of temples. He started building this tomb temple for himself, but his son finished it for him. Today, Palenque and the Temple of Inscriptions are UNESCO sites, sites of World Heritage. If you want to see the stuff inside the sarcophagus, you have to go to Mexico City. All right, my students, you are giving me between 7 and 10 sentences about what you've learned about the Temple of Inscriptions, and I hope you found this enjoyable and educational. Thank you.